Hey y'all, all you sophisticated rednecks out there. This is a little update video on the Nissan Patrol that we've been building. There's been a little bit of a series out there, so if this is the first time you're seeing me, go and check out my channel. There's some other videos out there of things I've been doing on this truck. It's a little ADHD and all over the place just because it's a mix of footage from over the past couple of months. I lost some footage and here and there, so getting videos out has been a problem. Working on making that a little better, maybe getting a little more consistent, seeing if we can get out a video a week. You know, for those that want to actually enjoy this video series, you know, like, subscribe, hit that button. Any questions you have about certain things that I've done on the truck, you know, put them down in the comments. I'll see if I can address those either in a video or, you know, I'll always respond to you. Anyway, God bless. Check out the video and hope you have a wonderful, blessed day. Alright, I'm laying underneath this thing, the Patrol, working on making a cross member for the transmission. Just hung the transfer case. You guys got to see this. Nissan thought this thing needed a Chevy, an SM420, and a Dana 18, because you're going to be freaked as I am. This thing fits. Look at this. Alright, so there's the transfer case, and if you look up here, we got room. We're gonna cut this cross member's going away. Once I get the new one built, I'll cut that all out. That'll make room for, you know, my drive shaft that goes down through there. We won't need that one anymore. Plus it's all whooped and been smashed on everything. So right now we're working on getting a mount to this rear mount here. I'm going to start fabricating that out. Rear drive shaft angle, it's going to be kind of steep, but I think it's workable. But let me pop out from under here and show you in the cab. Alright, so the only place that's really tight is right here around this bolt, and I think I can just trim this back a little bit and that'll alleviate that. Other than that, I've got enough room to put my hand in between everything. Look where these shifters landed. Right, if I had to guess, they're gonna be, you know, pretty much right where, I don't know what's neutral anymore. Anyway, and then I want to put the shifter on, put the floor pan in, because I almost think the holes are going to line right up. I'll check right back with you. Alright, well, I test fitted the floor piece. It's going to take some modifications. Holes aren't quite right, but not by much, and that's the least of my problems. So, but yeah, look at that shifter. Yes sir, it works. Oh, I'm laying underneath the truck. Decided to pop this front cover off. I had a feeling that it was an open diff. Was hoping for a locker. Yes, that there is rust. The fluid looked really good. Let me see if I can get the phone in here. If you look, there's no wear. It looks like they changed the ring gear, which why would you put Yep, 308s. I checked the numbers. That's why they're yellow, because I couldn't see them. See that 13 and 40? You divide those, you come up with 308. You know, you can see the blue. Somebody's been in here. Bearing looks new. You know, I see no damage. There was a bunch of grit at the bottom of the pumpkin, but nothing metallic. Mostly look more like flakes of that rust. So don't know what that's all about. Anyway, it's a good news, bad news scenario. You know, bad news, open diff. Bad news, 308s. Good news, all new parts. But I don't think that really counts as good news, considering that I will have to buy new gears and probably a carrier, because I want to go up above the 392 cutoff for a Dana 44. So yeah, that's where we're at. Alright, we're under the back of the truck now. We have a GM 10 bolt back here. This is a pretty cool little tag. This says new limited slip disc. So let's get in there and take a look. So this gets interesting. Again, we got a lot of rust from them sitting around. You can see a little bit of markings where they've been in this one. Gears, again, fairly new. But let's see if we can get over here. 12 to 41 makes this a 342 gear, and the front was a 308, and supposedly these came out of the same truck. Was that a common scenario to have two different gears? I mean, that don't make any sense to me. They both should have been 308s, or both should have been 342s. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Irregardless, doesn't really matter. I have to re-gear it anyway, for what I want. So they do make a thick 411 gear, so I could leave this locker set in there. I don't know how great that would be, but I mean, to save money. Anyway, you know, there it is. It's there. It's just a factory locker, nothing crazy, but it is a locker nonetheless. So yeah, all it means to me is money I didn't want to spend. There you go. Alright, for starters, you'll see she's got a new stance. She sits a little taller. So we put the GM 10 bolt in the rear and the Dana 44 up front. Most of the work has been done up front. So if we come down here, you'll see we put in new leaf spring shackles and smooth the frame out some. And coming over here, you'll see we moved everything forward about 2 inches. Everything is still just in mock-up. This thing is all going to get blown back apart and what have you. So, you know, also see this hole now has something in it.
So we built some motor mounts. Yep. We got the 400 sitting in there. Everything is just in the mock-up stage. Nothing is permanent yet. Well, I mean, you can see placement is permanent. So if you come back here, you'll see why I moved it so far forward. You know, I didn't want to cut the footwells, and I would have had to cut both sides. There's no way around it, and those footwells are tiny at best. So I chose to move the engine forward, which is creating a problem on this end with radiator and whatever. So I am working on that because, yeah, I ran it over with that. So I twisted it and bent it, and now I have to redesign it, which is not a big deal. You know, it needed modifying anyway to do what I want to do. So we are going to still pick up off of the stock mount here, and it is still going to mount here. You know, placement wise, it's still going to be stock, but I am building. Let's see if we flip this thing over. So if you notice, this thing was nowhere near being cherry perfect. It was twisted and bent before. I just kind of did it all in. So that being said, I cut out all of that, and I'm going to make my own inner structure, which is going to allow me to put the radiator kind of under that and closer to the front of the truck, because I'm cheap. I don't want to go buy a new radiator, so we're going to use this pig. Plus, this thing is a 4-core radiator. She's a beast and heavy. Issue being is that inlet at the bottom there tipped up like that. If it was just straight, we would have no issue whatsoever, and I could easily cut it off, but it's not round either. So potential for leaks gets bigger. So we're gonna just do some other modifying that's much easier to do. As you can see, I got a shock laying on that tire. Step over here. Got a shock on that tire. And that is for... We got components here. Box full of junk. Hoops. We are going to build some hoops. And those hoops are going to go up in this area. So, and I think we're going to come right off of that stock Chevy lower. Because why not? It's already there. The mount's there. I can make the top whatever it needs to be. Obviously, you see I got to finish up some stuff on this side. You know, everything is just kind of there. I have to go underneath, and I have to finish. I mean, we made a cross member, and we cut out a cross member. Check this out. Where did I throw that thing? Here it is. This is awesome. This is the stock cross member. That's 50, 60 years worth of pounded in dirt and debris. Somebody said to excavate it out of there and see if it's got any gold in it. But look at this thing. It is twisted, bent, banged, hit. This poor truck, she's had a hard life. So yeah, I got the door handles out. Yep, we're working on that. See, I got a bunch of projects today. I guess I should button some of this stuff up a little at a time here. Basically, I'm working on what I have materials for. So we pulled out the latches. This side was missing a handle. Yeah, see, we gotta, that's not permanent. That's just trying to make some temporary seating. Haven't really done much in there. I do have dash and steering wheel done. So let's come in here because it's hot out. Alright, so here is my homemade door handle because I was missing one and can't find one anywhere, and I'm in the process of making the plate. So yeah, and I haven't done anything back there. So there you go, there's a update, and I'll put up some of what is currently going on. I did open up the rear, front and rear diffs. I got 308s up front, 342s in the back, which are stock square body Chevy gears. And you know, so you know, there you go. We're just kind of tearing into things and building, and I'm just working on the things that I have, bits, pieces, parts, whatever, making it as I go. Don't have a script, so who knows what I'm going to do. But that's kind of an update where we're at. Gonna keep on thrashing on this thing. I'll put out a couple more videos, and especially when I go to get that beast started. That's coming soon. And then I got to pull it all back apart, clean on paint. Having major issues with the brakes. Brakes are, yeah. Well, I'll make a video just on that. So, brakes and steering box alignment issues, bunch of things I got to figure out. So anyway, have a good one. Alright, so how we doing today? I've been working on getting this front end put together, figuring out the radiator, and see, we got that put in place. If you remember yesterday, it's a new day, by the way. Yesterday I cut out the back side of this thing, and I got it pretty well straightened out. There's a few little more pieces and project I got to do to it. But let me turn you around here and show you what I got going on. Okay, so as you can see, I got that set in place, and it had those big pieces that I cut off that used to sit right on these little pads on the frame. Okay, and they ran up in the back, up behind here, and then the radiator mounted to them. Let me see. Sat on these little pads, and so the radiator sat way up high and stuck out up the top, and was, you know, good 4 inches away from the grill support, or the grill. So I cut the ends of those feet off here. Gonna clean them up still, and those will go back in here. And then I've got some angle that I'm going to make new pieces to hold this, even though in my opinion this thing's pretty stout and doesn't really need it. Basically I'm more making for a radiator mount, and you'll see that in a little bit. So the radiator's going to now sit down
on these pads. I had to trim off the ends a little bit so the radiator can fit down in there. And then these will also be in there. And these are technically the front body mounts. So, you know, there'll need to be bushings and etc. in there. So, anyway, I got the time lapse going for that, and you'll get to see me fight with a very heavy radiator as I try and make this, and I'll come back to you on it. Alright, have a good one. Good morning, YouTube. Alright, well, we're back on the patrol again. Unfortunately, I lost a bunch of footage, so I'm gonna have to try to recreate some stuff. But anyway, I'm gonna get you in here, show you what I've got going on, what I'm working on today. Still working on this radiator, trying to get this core support straightened out. So anyway, let me get you turned around and I'll show you what we got going on. Alright, we got this thing where we want it. As you can see, I got it to where I can get a fan in there now. Yes, the radiator cap is underneath the core support. But that's okay. I'm going to just put one of those inlines into the upper radiator hose to fill it. I think it'll work out just fine. So if you look over here, we got that bottom mount down there where the core support mounted, and the radiator now mounts down there. And if I get my pieces, got all this junk laying around here. Yeah, we got a winch we're using for mock-up. This is a friend's. I borrowed it. But anyway, let's see here. Which one of these is what?
Alright, y'all. Yeah, it's been a day. I got a lot done. We got the radiator all fully mounted. I'm mocking up some pieces for another project that I'm going to show you here in just a second. I think you take it up. I think it's pretty cool. So let me flip you around. I'll show you what I built here, and then you can see what I did. Alright. So there we go. We got a radiator. It's all firmly mounted. And down here you can see the way I did this. Sorry about the... So that's mounted there. And then we use the factory mount there. And then down on the bottom we've got the factory mount. And we've got the core support all firmly mounted with it. And it's all bolt in, so that way I can remove it if need to be when I'm taking the core support out. As you can see, we got enough room to run a actual mechanical fan, so that's going to work out pretty good. And then started mocking this up. I want to put a snorkel on this because that's what I want. So I have this old air cleaner. I have no clue what it came off of. It's got a cool little snout on it that'll go right to the carburetor. And then it's got this tube that I can cut off. And then I'm just going to come up through that little hole that comes right back here and over the fender and then up the side of the windshield. Pretty simple stuff, but yeah, I just got it mocked in there for now. Just sitting on a board and ratchet straps and what have you. But I think it's going to work pretty good. Get a top hat for that end over there. Go on the carburetor. I'll probably lower it just a little bit depending on what the other pieces have. I just stuck it in there to see if it even fit. So yeah, there you go. Alright, so well, that's that for this video. Got quite a bit done. Still a lot to do, but it's coming together a little bit at a time. That's how these projects are. You stick a little in there, and sometimes, yeah, I mean, that core support thing, I've remodified it. It's been a 3-day project. Modify it here, change it there, not happy with it, pull it all back out, start over again. So that's how these things go. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap this video here. If you like what you've seen, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm just doing this just to document more than anything, but it does help if you hit that like and subscribe button. So y'all be safe out there, do those redneck things, and have a good day. Bye.